Final update to key stealing Mill saga. I have divorced my wife, and she got a last-minute flying monkey. Been a while since I posted, but here's the final scoop. I am officially single now, as my divorce ended a couple of weeks ago. My ex-wife did try to drag things out a little, and she annoyed me with the help of a last-minute flying monkey, which failed miserably. In fact, I'd say my ex seems pretty broken now. Aside from the fact her mother was not only quite a financial and emotional drain for her when she was still alive, my ex was also heavily dependent on needing her love and validation, in part because her father walked out on them both. Of course, giving filial piety to a narcissist is exactly what they want. So my ex made some bad choices. After her mother died, she tried to put me through hell all over again, but it ended up rebounding on her repeatedly, to basically give everything on that flying monkey in one paragraph. She contacted me in mid-August and woke me up at 7:00 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I answered the phone by reflex, and this FM was quite the diva, if that's an apt description. This final woman went off on me in a similar way to how my mother did when my ex went crying to her and basically tried to start an argument with me. She asked if I was my name first, and then let out an when I answered. Then she started accusing me and followed that up by saying, "I need Jesus." I was too tired to give a damn and just hung up and blocked the number. Still ruined my Sunday though. The FM tried to get at me on social media next. That was her big mistake. Her account had her name and face on it, which I screenshotted. I told her I'd file a case for harassment against me if she didn't leave me alone. She promptly shut up and blocked me. I then contacted my ex through text and told her I don't give a damn what new friends she makes. If she keeps trying to defame me by telling lies about me to people, I'll sue her. I already had the evidence I needed. She surprisingly admitted fault, told me it would not happen again, and that was the end of that. Back to my divorce. A few months ago, a commentor gave me a bit of a fright that the timing of the police when my mother and ex showed up at my door was a little too convenient, and that they might have called them in advance so they'd show up just as I was going off on them. But I had CCTV proving my innocence and that they had provoked me. Well, just in case, I had my lawyer do some digging, and there was thankfully no foul play, so I guess it really was just a neighbor who called the cops. But I still don't know who. That said, if it had been my ex or mother who called, we could have had my lawyer use it as ammo for a false police report. But it didn't matter in the end. My lawyer and I had a nice load of evidence to use in divorce court. Even the last-minute flying monkey was added to the pile. I have still been going to therapy, and I've been told that while my past with my mother, ex-wife, and Mill was messed up, I did well despite the circumstances. But I'm having lingering trust issues towards women I just meet that is going to take time to get better. I'm just fine around female friends and other women I've known for a while. But any new woman I talk to or even feel attracted to, I also instinctively avoid. My therapist did agree with me that my swearing off marriage for the rest of my life is just fine, and that not everyone needs to conform to that. But deep inside, I'm just instinctively seeing any new woman as bad to avoid getting close, and I've been working on getting better about it. My ex eventually admitted surrender in divorce court and ended up transferring out at her job. She moved to another state, and I only saw her in person again at the final divorce hearing. She didn't hire a lawyer for the divorce like I did. Maybe she knew she was screwed already, or maybe she just couldn't afford it. Her finances weren't nearly as good as mine since she previously gave a lot of money to her mother. In fact, I found out in the divorce that her credit was not good, not technically in the toilet, but she has debts to pay I wasn't even aware of that went back to before we were married. I don't have specifics on those debts other than they exist, but my ex admitted she was hoping for my help in paying them off. As in, she was hoping to make me pay them after turning me into her lapdog. But she and her mother poked at my biggest triggers, and I rebelled. And y'all can read my past posts to see what happened. But it's long and messy. Either way, she basically gave me and the court even more confirmation she was only married to me for financial security. My ex mostly avoided insulting me during the divorce hearings, much less look at me. She tried to act overly scared of me at first and still claimed her mother was dead because of me. I owned up to reporting Mill's hoarder house, but I could have never imagined she'd have a heart attack. Also, the house was unlivable and a danger to Mill and the people around it. The judge was appalled by all the information on its condition, which my ex was unable to deny. The judge also saw right through all my ex's manipulation tactics after seeing the stack of information I had on her and her mother. Once called out, she stopped crying, stood up straight, and just looked defeated. But among the stupid tactics she tried was talking about my bike. I think at that point she was just doing it to drag things out. She told the judge that she just hated bicycles, and as her now former husband, I should have supported her by not owning a bike, let alone keeping one so old and beat up in the house. She described my old bike as a rusty thing she threw out because it annoyed her to look at. Then she looked at me and said that going to the gym should have been enough for me. The judge looked at her like she was an idiot and told her that the bike was completely irrelevant, and then we moved on from the subject. And then right as the divorce ended, my ex cornered me in the lobby and had to make the bike her final idiotic dig at me by telling me she hoped I enjoyed my riding my bike, because I obviously enjoyed riding it more than a beautiful woman like her. I told her there were so many things I could say to her in the moment, but I was just done, so I said to stop acting like a child, it was over, and to just leave me alone so we could get on with our lives. She stomped out the door. That was the last time I saw her in person. We didn't have any real shared assets. The house we used to live in together was rented. We both own our vehicles outright under our own names. We didn't have kids, and we both make about the same amount of money. But I still had the advantage with the recordings, CCTV, bank records, screenshots from social media, texts, the situation of her getting my mother involved, the FM, and other things I've spoken about in these posts. My ex didn't deny anything presented after seeing all the evidence. So in the end, she just talked about random things before finally agreeing to an amicable, clean split divorce. No alimony, and we just went our separate ways. Someone here also advised me to petition for my ex to change back to her maiden name, which I did. She agreed to it with no issue. For whatever reason, she called me and we spoke one last time over the phone just last week. She admitted that while she still hates my guts with a passion, she finally realized what her toxic mother had done to her. Not sure how well I believe that. But it doesn't matter anymore now. She said she'd made new friends after moving, and for once was only having to support herself and no one else. I wished her well, and that was that. So at least we didn't end on a bad note. Not really a good one either. Just very neutral. I'm a free man now. And I hope that my next partner that I possibly may have in time won't be like my ex.
Well, there you have it, folks. The end to this saga. Let me know in the comments section if you want a full 1 hour plus compilation of OP's Saga. I still have the original that I scrapped because it got out to be over an hour long. Anyhow, what did you think about this conclusion? Do you think it was as neutral as OP believes? Do you think you'll find love again? Or do you think he's become too jaded? This is Petty Honest signing off for now. Meow. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to leave your honest thoughts in the comment section below. We love a good juicy thought.